everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm acrylic artist Joni Young, and today I'm going to show you another pretty painting. It's going to be filled with waterfalls, a pretty staircase covered in moss, and lots of flowers. I'm sure there's going to be lots in this painting to uplift your spirits through this hard time we're going through and motivate you and inspire you. So enjoy this video. I just want to help to kind of lift your spirits today, and in the next few weeks I'll be doing more and more videos for you guys. I myself am in 14 days self-isolation right now. I'm missing my little grandbaby Zach so much, and my daughter, but this is going to help me get through the next 10, I think I've got 10 more days to go. I'm going to take you out around my yard, and a lot of things are blooming right now. It's very green and the sun is shining. So come along with me and I'll take you around and show you. Okay guys, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I just want to go over a few of the supplies we're using. I've got my large blending brush. I'm going to get it a little bit wet first before I begin. We're working on an 11 by 14 double primed stretched canvas. So we've got titanium white, we've got phthalo blue, sap green, dioxazine purple, turquoise, cadmium yellow, crimson red, burnt sienna. Not sure if I'm going to need that, but it's there from yesterday, so I could incorporate it somewhere. Neon pink, neon orange, and I might even add a few more colors as the painting progresses. We'll have to see. So let's get started with this painting, guys. I hope you're really excited. We're going to be doing a big oval right here. It's going to be kind of like a portal or an opening. I'm going to have some mountains, some clouds, sky, a few little waterfalls, and a little staircase that I'm envisioning right about here. I'm thinking about all this in my mind right now, and I'm going to deliver one step at a time for you guys onto this canvas. Okay, so I'm going to begin with phthalo blue using my large blending brush. I'm going to come around the sides. Up a little bit more paint. I want to get all these little edges around the side of the canvas here. I don't want any white showing. So I'm creating the background right now. This is going to be some water down here. And I'm going to go just like that. I'm going to take some white and just a little bit of turquoise. So I've got a little bit on the tip of my brush, and I'm going to start lining my brush up halfway on the blue and halfway on the white canvas. Start going around. I'm going to pick up some more white now. I still have a lot of blue in my brush, so I don't need to pick up any more blue, and in fact this is still wet around here, so I can pick that up if I need to and incorporate it right in here. We just want to make it lighter. Continuous circles around and around without taking your brush off the canvas. I'm going to switch over to one of my filbert brushes. You can use any filbert brush that you want, doesn't matter. I'm going to paint a few little clouds. Now it's wet right here, so I'm just going to scumble off where my clouds are going to be roughly. Take off a little bit of this wet paint. And now I can pick up a little bit of white and start adding just a few little dabs first. light little taps. I apologize for any noise that you might hear in the background. There are people outside working around their yards, so hopefully you guys aren't distracted badly by that. But I want to do more and more live videos like this, real time, with me talking during the process. Because oftentimes if I do voiceovers, it's hard for me to really remember exactly my thinking process and why I chose the colors I did, etc. Okay, so there's just a few little clouds. Then we can add a few little dabs, making these look a little bit farther away. Wipe the excess off on a towel. Not washing my brush. Okay, I'm just going to leave that there for now. And I'm going to start working on the rest of the background here. This little seam, this opening that's back here. Maybe there's some mountains. So I think I'm going to take, I'll start with some phthalo blue, maybe a little bit of my sap green. We'll start dark like that with a flat brush. It's got a nice straight end on it. And this one will swoop down like that. And then maybe we'll have another one that goes right there. And I'm going to go over the outside, so I'm not worried about what this looks like here, if it's going over or not. It's going to be covered up anyways. Now because this mountain is further away, and in fact I'm just going to do another little one right here. Things further away are lighter in color, so I'm going to add a little bit more white to this one to make it look like it's really far away. And then I'm going to take a little bit of white hold it this way as if it were a palette knife and just start at the top. I'll add it right here, and then I'm gonna take a little bit of that color that I just mixed up and add it right about here just to soften around. Maybe there's another little mountain around on the side like that. Barely touching the canvas. I'm going to leave that a little bit rough looking up there and then make this look soft, soft and blurry. Barely touching. Okay, so there's some little mountains. And then maybe we've got, what if we add a little sun right there? Look how easy that is with a clean, dry brush. And you can hear that little scrubbing sound. That's a soft scumble. So I'm taking the excess paint off and I'm wiping it off on my towel. And then I go back. I'm just gonna actually take my pinky, just like that, and dab a little circle. Okay, we'll come back to the sky after. Let that sit and dry for a little bit. Now I want to have a little bit of a shadow on this side. So taking some phthalo blue, we'll just add a little dab like that. Maybe some peaks and ridges. And then I'm going to come around now. with a blue and create this pretty oval portal. We all want to escape the stress of what's going on right now around the world, and this is what I do. I take a little bit of white and go just inside and pull. A little bit more paint. I'm going to start adding a little bit of water, a little more shadow in here. And we'll have our waterfall dropping down. I'm going to make it slightly darker inside. So I'm taking sap green and purple. Maybe there's some rocks, and you can get a nice dark earth tone, almost black, but not quite black, by taking those two colors. So I'm going to go right in here, maybe add some little moss covered rocks on the inside. I'm going to also add a little bit of that right around, right over here. And go around the sides. In fact, I'm just going to sweep this up a little bit because I want it to be darker underneath those waterfalls in order for those nice bright highlights to work. Okay, I'm going to switch over to another brush now. I've got a little fan brush, and I'm going to take some blue. Still the tip of my brush like this. I'm going to pull and flick down. Get some more of my brush. Pull and draw. Sweep some across like that. Sweep my brush side to side. We're going to bring it right there, make it look like it's further back, and then bring this out here into the foreground. Now we have a nice base for all our highlights that we're going to add. This is a nice shadow, and I'm going to go ahead and take, well, let's take some turquoise. Very lightly pull over. And a little bit of white now. I'm going to let my brush start spreading apart like that because I want to have those lines. Pull and drop. See how great that works? So it looks like a little rake. You want it to look like that. Don't freak out when all those bristles are spreading apart. It's quite helpful. Pull and drop. And maybe there's a little one right here, maybe a little one there, maybe a little one there. And then I'm going to push and tap. I want to soften up the bottom. I'm going to take another brush. Got this big one. It's not numbered, but it's big. And it's dry, and I'm just going to barely touch that canvas. I want to make it nice and soft in here. So So I'm going to make it kind of fuzzy and hazy looking at the bottom. I think I'm going to take a little bit more white, just a little bit like that. Tap it off on my, tap the excess off on my palette. I'm going to tap, create a little spray like that. Soften, soften, soften. A little bit more. Maybe just, can you see? You can even use this if you want to add a little, another little waterfall on the side. And then sweep across. I'm going to leave the base like that. I think that looks nice and soft and pretty. And then maybe dust off a little bit of what's left on this brush. We picked up just a tiny bit of blue and green. And just add a little bit in the sky, so it's not all the same color, right guys? I talk about that a lot too. You don't want your sky and clouds to always be the same color. In fact, what's really pretty is adding a little bit of peach or pink. So it's tinted, my white is slightly tinted, you can barely see it, but it makes a big difference in your painting. So I mix the paint up and then I push on the tip of my brush. I've got a little tiny hair there. There we go. It can be kind of annoying. And my canvas might still be a little bit too wet. I'm going to mix up some more color. And just pick a few spots here and there. Now this might even pick up a little bit of blue paint underneath, and that's okay. So I want some of my clouds to be bigger than others. I don't want them to all be the same size. So maybe we'll bring this up a little bit bigger. There, I like that. Maybe a little something right up here. I'm going to take a little bit of white, a little bit of turquoise, and I'm going to start softening this water out back here. And then we're going to start coming in with all our foliage around here. I do kind of have envisioned a little staircase. We'll see if that comes to life, if I can work that, incorporate that into this painting. What I want to do is have a few little bushes back in here. So I don't think I have a small enough mop brush. What I'm going to do is just use my Filbert brush, because this gives me a little bit more control and I can fit some little bushes back there. So I'm going to take sap green to start, and I'm going to start up here because I have more paint on my brush and it's in the foreground more, so it is going to be darker. Now as the paint works out of my brush, it'll start looking a little bit lighter and lighter. So there's just some little bushes, maybe working their way up the mountain. I'll add just a little bit right here. And then if they were trees going up the mountain, then you turn your brush like this You just do lots of little taps. And it starts to look like lots of trees, but they're going to be kind of fuzzy looking. So you don't need to worry about doing a lot of detail. Take just a little bit of this off with a clean brush. Now as I take some of this off, I'm taking the paint off underneath and we're getting a nice little highlight in there. Maybe this is a bit of a beach along the side. Well, that's nice. Nice little accident here. Beach over here would be really nice to escape to. Yeah, I like that. Let's add just a little bit with a clean brush. Let's take some turquoise, a little bit of white, maybe a bit of yellow. And maybe there's some pretty tropical water in here. Does it make sense that there's a waterfall right here? Maybe not, but it's art, right? So it doesn't even matter. You can make your own worlds up where there's calm water and a beach and then a huge waterfall around it. No one can tell you it's wrong. You do whatever you want. Maybe there's some little palm trees in here too. Still just using sap green, tip of my filbert brush. Little flicks. And then I'm gonna wipe my brush off, take a little bit of my yellow. I'm gonna take some turquoise with that and make a nice green, light green for a highlight. We can tap really lightly right around this beach area. Maybe some spots going up the mountain. Mountains with snow on them and palm trees below. Cool little fantasy world we're creating. Okay, I think I'm just going to leave it like that for now. With the rest of this paint that I've mixed up, I'm going to start adding the base for some little, maybe we've got some little water lilies in here. So there's the light green. We can add a little bit of yellow. Some sap green. So I've got it on the tip of my brush. I'm a little bit shaky right now painting this because it's really cold in my studio, and the way I've got the camera filming this is a little bit awkward, so sorry guys for a little bit of shakiness going on there. I think, yeah, that's what it is. It's just a little bit cold in here. I could turn my fan on, my heater, but it's really noisy. So I shut it off right before I start filming. I'm just gonna take a little bit of purple and blue. DIOXAZINE purple, phthalo blue, and just add a little bit of that underneath as well. This is going to be some shadows right along the side here, and then maybe some flowers. In fact, we could do that right now. We've got this dark color on here, purple and blue. Let's add a few flowers. Maybe some of them are right over here as well. These colors look so pretty with the green and that phthalo blue background. I'm gonna take my big, actually not this one, I'm gonna use a smaller one. And I'm gonna take a little bit of white and those two colors. The end of my brush looks like this. I'm gonna start tapping. Look how pretty that is. Mix up some more color. Go from this side now. Maybe a little bit more white this time, maybe a bit more purple. Now a little bit more blue. We'll see how that looks. Pull and flick down a little bit into the water and then sweep across. Pull, flick, sweep across. Oh, picked a little bit of white up, that's okay. All right, so I am gonna start coming in with more of the green in the background, and we're going to start building up the foreground. So green back here. So with this big brush, I'm going to take sap green, a little bit of blue, tap the two together to blend, otherwise we'll lose the nice soft stipple effect and shape that we want. I'm going to start up here. I'm going to come over slightly. I'm going to leave some spaces because I like this pretty blue that we've got going on. So I'm just going to go right in and around this purple and blue in front of these waterfalls. I'm going to pick up some more and begin on this side. Okay, I really like that. I'm going to take some yellow now. A little bit more, a little bit of white. Whoops, that might be a bit too much white. Let me just take a little bit more of that green, darken this up a bit. Okay, and I'm going to softly start tapping in some light tones and some highlights. I know this is going to dry darker than what it's showing right now. Keep that in mind, guys. If you want it to stay this color that it is right now, you're going to have to add a little bit more white. Okay, just a little bit there on the side. I'm going to take I've got a liner brush now, and I'm going to take some brown, some dioxazine purple, mix the two together like that, and maybe there's some little branches that are coming out. Load up my brush again, twirl it, scoop so you have all the paint right on the tip. A little something like that. You can even have a few just hanging in the front. A bit more. I need a bit more purple this time because that brown isn't dark enough to show up. We'll just have a few. I like things overlapping and dangling in a painting. I think it looks pretty. A bit more right in here. I love how this phthalo blue glows. It really pops out. I don't know if the camera sees that, but in real life, it's just such a pretty color combo. The phthalo and that green and the bit of purple we have there. Okay, I think I want to start adding some little bits of my neon pink. Time for some fun. You guys know how I love my neon colors, and you do too, otherwise you wouldn't be watching my channel. So I'm going to need that to show up a little bit more. I'm going to take a little bit of white. I'm tapping. I want to spread these bristles apart a little bit so that I can get more of a bush type of look. I want to put them down here because I want kind of the focal point to be down in here, maybe the lights hitting down there, and it's just drawing our eyes into this pretty little oasis right here. And then I'm going to take, I've got a little bit of red. Maybe I'll just sneak a little bit of red right in here. It's your world. You can add color wherever you want. I might add a little bit of my light purple violet in this area after. So I'll go ahead with a clean brush, take this pretty purple violet, add a little bit of this little bit of white we've got here, tap the bottom to make it a little poofy, and add a little bit right in here. Where else? Maybe some right in here. Just a little bit more white right above those waterfalls. So I'm going to slide my little flat brush into the white, make it nice and flat like that. Maybe just one little drop right there. And I want to add maybe a little bit of orange, neon orange, and pink and white. And on the corner of my brush, I'm going to add a few little dabs for our little water lilies. So we'll add that color first. I'm going to take some more white, a little bit more orange, right on the tip. Just little dabs. Little ones back here in the distance. I've got my little round brush. I'm going to take a little bit of this off. I want them to look a little bit hazy and like they've got a glow. And then maybe a little bit of a reflection in the water. Just little dabs around. Take a little bit of my purple. And And some green. And just add a little bit more right in here. These are just little lily pads. Some green, yellow, and turquoise. Add a little bit of turquoise right over here. I just need something right on the side here. I'm going to add a little bit of yellow and a little bit of white. With my little mop brush, I'm squishing it. Maybe a little bit brighter. A little bit brighter and more inviting. Right down in here. Soften it. A little brown brush. So I'm just tapping and then wiggling, creating all sorts of little branches or vines, whatever these are. Not thinking too much about it, just kind of in the flow of things. I'm going to take a bit of white, just soften this area up. Make it look like it's farther away. It just seems like there should be something right here, and I'm trusting my gut. Let's think about adding some stairs. I guess I could have just a little bit right in here. I'm just going to go for it. I'm not going to hesitate. Little staircase. Just a little one like that. And maybe it comes over here, off to the side. Take another filbert brush, some sap green, maybe a little bit of purple, a little bit of blue, make a nice dark rich color. And maybe start tapping in some moss along the side. Just make it stand out a little bit more. I want this staircase to be a little bit more indistinct. I don't do too much to it. I could just add a few little taps. For some highlights. I'm going to take some more of my light purple violet, because I really like this pop of color in here. I don't want to lose that with that staircase. In order for that to show up, I'm going to add a little bit of white. It shows up a lot better. Just a little bit down there at the bottom. Take some purple and some sap green again. Another bit of a highlight, green, turquoise, white, and a bit of that sap and purple that's left in my brush. Just pull on the flick a little bit. That's softer at the bottom. I think I'm gonna paint some little mushrooms, just a couple. I'll do some white and yellow. A little tap and a line. Pick up a little bit of pink. I don't know if these are going to be mushrooms actually. Maybe I could make them little flowers. So I'm just using this little round brush. Put a little bit of white inside of that one. Some turquoise in here. A few little vines right here hanging. That looks pretty. Take some purple, some blue, and some green. And a bit more contrast around the side here. I'm going to take some purple and some pink. I've got a little dab of each on there. And I'm going to add some pretty thick flowers, impressionistic, right in there. Take some more, just pink this time. Maybe add a little bit. Just pushing, tapping, and leaving that paint right in there. Now, just gonna roll that paint out of my brush, scoop up some red, and dab over this red that we added earlier. Looks really nice against that purple and then that light purple violet. Just a little bit right in here too, along with that purple. A little bit more in here. I'm just going to soften with my finger. Go around the sun a little bit. Soften that up. A little bit more white, just a dry brush over these mountains. You can look even further away. So I hope you guys enjoyed this painting today. I know I did. I had so much fun creating it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks again for watching. I wish you happiness. Have a wonderful day. Happy painting, and I'll see you next time very soon in my next video.